So, welcome back to my returning subscribers, and welcome if you are new. Tonight is Wednesday night, and we are about to do it right. It is going to be real talk and readings. So, I'm not going to be up late doing a whole bunch of reading because I need my rest, but make sure you stick around after the talking session after the group discussion, because I may do a few depending on who's left in the chat and go from there. But as usual, I will be live for readings Friday night. Tonight's topic. Hey Sarah Boo, how are you? Tonight's topic, of course, if you paid attention to the title of this live stream, is manage your emotions, right? Manage your emotions. Yes, well, kick back and relax, Sarah Boo. Get you a snack, get you a drink, something. Take you a shower, do whatever you need to do to feel comfortable. Hey Aisha Love, welcome back. Welcome back to all of my returning subscribers, and welcome for those who are new, okay? Real talk tonight is going to be managing your emotions. And the reason being for that is because a lot of times, and we've been talking about self-care, self-love. Hey Melanie Love, I'm good. I ate just a little bit. But we've been talking about so many different things on my channel throughout the past year that I wanted to kind of bring some topics back up to the surface. So managing emotions is actually a new one that we really hadn't talked a lot about. I touched on it previously, but in the process of taking personal accountability, we have to be responsible for our emotions, how we respond and how we react to other people. Hey Jalissa. Also, if you're new and you're hoping for a reading, because I know you saw the title, right? Make sure you stick around, because like I said, according to my energy level at the end of the live, I may do a few readings. We'll just see how it goes. Hey Kelly Love, welcome back. And if you enjoy the live, you enjoy the sessions, please make sure you give it a thumbs up, okay? Really helps the channel to grow, okay? Perfect energy exchange, you guys. Hey No Name. So the reason I want to talk about this, because I'm pretty sure that most of you, just like myself, have been in a situation where, you know, something happened, and yes, how to manage emotions, the importance of managing your emotions, because part of managing your emotions is managing self. Thank you, No Name. Pink is actually my favorite color. Just throwing that out there. If you ever want to send me anything, pink is my favorite color, okay? Light pink, dark pink, it doesn't even matter. But yeah, self-care, self-love, all of that, self-healing, the whole spiritual journey is really about self, mastering the art of self. And of course, we're not going to be perfect at it, but at least you are self-conscious, self-aware, which that's going to cause us to kind of diverge a little bit, segue into another topic, which is ego versus spirituality. I know a lot of you guys are familiar with the term New Age. I don't really know too much about it. I've been hearing and seeing things about it on YouTube. So if y'all have any experience with whatever New Age is, or the teachings or the philosophies, let me know, because like I'm just trying to get an understanding of what all of that is about. Anywho, supposedly, from what I've seen, tarot, crystals, Reiki, meditation, yoga, all this stuff falls under New Age. I don't really understand that, but whatever, do you. But a lot of people take spirituality and use it the wrong way. Like they feel like everything is love and light, everything, namaste, like everything is, no, it's not. It's not. Everything is not love and light, especially during your healing process, because healing yourself and going your own personal self journey, you know what I mean? It takes work. Hey Makia, I will be after the real talk session, which probably will only be about 20 minutes. But part of managing your emotions is managing self, and it's all about self. You know, everything comes down to what you choose to do, just like in tarot. When you do tarot readings for people, even for yourself, you're pulling cards to find out what energies are surrounding your current situation, so that you can learn what you need to do, what I need to do in order to improve my situation. What am I doing to hinder the situation, or what am I doing to improve the situation going forward? right? So tarot is kind of like a flashlight that's shown on what's going on. It's not there to exactly, Kelly. Hey, M Love, welcome back. That's what I find a lot of people get caught up in the term, being a spiritualist or in the terminology of spirituality. It's always this, well, love and light and happiness and this type of thing, and you're gonna have the perfect union, which is another reason why I personally don't care for labels in tarot, like the twin flame soulmate labels, because it's just, how can I say this? It's like, for me, it's like saying, okay, well, you have to do this. You have to do this. You have to be a part of this. Right, no name. And a lot of people use it in a manipulative way. A lot of people use it in a sense to say, well, this is how you should be all the time. And none of us are perfect. We're all human beings, right? So everything is not always love and light. Sometimes I get angry. Okay? I'm letting y'all know right now, I'm human. Sometimes I get pissed. Sometimes I want to cuss people out. Sometimes I do cuss people out. I'm a human being. Like, I can't pretend like I'm perfect, that I'm better than the next person. I also see a lot of that in the spiritual tarot community. People acting like they're so much better than the next person, when really you really need to manage your own ego, your own pride, your own attitude, and actually be willing to be humble, right? And have a slice of humble pie and say, you know what, there's actually something that I can learn from another person. There's actually something that I can actually gain from a client of mine. There's actually something, it's not just me giving you advice or giving my viewers and subscribers advice, but if you share something with me, you're imparting knowledge with me. It's an energetic exchange is what it is. You know what I mean? So I can't act like my life is perfect, my interactions are perfect, my relationships are perfect. Like, I can't put on a facade to make people see everything in this particular light. So that's a whole nother topic for a whole nother day. But anywho, managing self, right? When we talk about self-love, self-care, getting out of identifying red flags in toxic relationships, a part of the toxicity is within self. A lot of the toxicity is within self. And so a lot of people focus on their connections, right? Their twin flame or their soulmate, how this person's feeling or what they're thinking. They're not communicating. What's going on with him? Where is he at? What about you? What are you doing? How are you helping the relationship? How are you adding to what it is that you're wanting, what you're trying to manifest, what you've been praying for? How are you blocking the connection from coming together? Because it's not always just about the other person. You have your own personal journey. Before we ever connect with another human being, you have self, right? Just like when you're a child, you're a living human being, right? You have self. That child learns. Children. The beautiful thing about children is that they're so expressive. Exactly, Melanie. Children. There was one of my associates that came into my office earlier today, and he brought his little girl. She's 2, and so cute. And so I'm asking her name. She's like, no, she doesn't want to tell me her name. It definitely could be a soulmate experience. It could definitely be no name. But for me personally, I don't get right. Me personally, as a reader, I don't get caught up with labels. I don't care for labels. Absolutely, you can actually have a twin flame connection. You could actually have a soulmate connection with someone. Like you said, no name, you can actually feel at home with someone, right? With your person. But when you get caught up, because I know a lot of y'all are probably familiar with this, right? Because of, whole twin flame soulmate situation. A lot of people are on hold. They put their own healing and their own growth on hold because they're waiting for their twin to reach out. Exactly. They're waiting for this person to communicate. Honey, he may never communicate with you in this lifetime. Just because you felt a connection doesn't mean that you are destined to be together. Sorry. And if this person shows you who they are, because we're gonna talk real facts tonight, right? Real talk. That's what this session is all about. If this person is showing you that they're not about you, they don't want a relationship, right? They have their own unhealthy, toxic ways about themselves, so that they need to work on self, right? They shouldn't even be dating in the first place. So why are you waiting on someone to reach out that has problems, right? With self. He doesn't even stay in his own apartment. He's staying with his mother. He's staying with an uncle. He's staying with a friend. He has roommates. He's shacking up with people. He doesn't even have his own transportation. But you're waiting on him to reach out? He's in between jobs. He's very unstable. Why are you waiting on him to reach out? Do you see what I'm saying? Do you see why management of self is so critical? Because once you can manage self, I won't even use the word master. If you can just manage self, then when you get into a connection with another person, then you can create a more healthy, wholesome atmosphere. Now, mind you, we all have, exactly. So, I mean, it's up to each individual person. So it can be healthy, just like sometimes it's not that anyone is a bad person. I don't know why people think that, but sometimes you're just not compatible. You don't share the same goals. You don't have the same aspirations. Yeah. As the other person. So sometimes it's better to part ways, which is why dating to me is really beneficial, because when you're dating, that's a phase where you're just actually getting to know someone, right? Hey, Jamila, welcome back, love. You're kind of just getting to get a feel of this person, kind of how I would get a feel of you if you were in my office and I was interviewing you. I would not only just look at your resume, based on what you put on paper, because it all looks good on paper. But I'm going to ask you some questions. I'm going to ask a little bit about your background. Okay, so how long did you work for Whole Foods? You know what I mean? Exactly. And some people, you just cannot connect with them because they're not on your level, right? Welcome to everybody who's just hopping in the live. Welcome back if you are a regular subscriber. Welcome if you're new, right? Please hit that thumbs up. But yeah, sometimes things just don't work out, and that's okay. Like, it doesn't mean that you're a bad person, he's a bad person, she's a bad person. It just like friendships. Sometimes have you ever, I don't know if anybody has ever experienced like where you were friends with somebody growing up and then as you get older you part ways. You change. People change over time. Your perception of things change your situations change, you relocate, you move. Like, does it make them a bad person? Maybe they went off and moved to Florida. Maybe you live in Jersey. I mean, like, just, it's life, and that's okay. Right, exactly, Melanie. There's always a lesson in the experience. Life is an experience, and I feel like we forget it so much. Right, and that's okay, Jalissa. Exactly. Some people are not, and that's a great point in, like, everybody is not at the same level of healing as we are either. Like I said, each one of us has our own shadow self. We have our own demons to battle. We have our own toxicity. We have our own shadow self. And so the other person has their own issues, their own demons to deal with, their own toxicity to deal with. You know what I mean? So you put two people together and we both have positive and negative, right? We tend to not want to deal with the negative, but it has to be dealt with, right? And I feel like relationships are kind of more of a like pick your poison type situation, because all of us have baggage, all of us have backgrounds, all of us have had bad experiences in the past or even in our childhood, so we all carry things, and so being able to work together to have a healthy connection, right, is all about being understanding, having a mutual understanding, having a respect for both parties, have understanding and respecting, okay, well, he may be more sensitive than you. You may be more direct than your person. You may be more very straightforward, or it could be the other way around. So you have to word things a little bit differently. Y'all, I got something in my eye. You may have to word things a little bit differently because it may offend him, right? So you may have to kind of word things a little bit differently because you don't want to hurt this person. But at the same time, he needs to understand where you're coming from. He needs to understand your point. So that's why it's important to be able to manage self, manage your emotions, so that you can. Sometimes we have to point things out to people. That's why people come to coaches. That's why there's therapists. That's why there's counseling. Sometimes it may feel like boot camp because, yes, when you go through those experiences, sometimes you have to feel, okay? I seen a meme the other day, which I took a break from social media Monday because I had enough posting, marketing, advertising my business, Instagram, YouTube, just social media, constant social media, Facebook. Like I had enough of social media, so I did not post Monday, but I still scrolled through Facebook. I still scrolled through Instagram, and I seen a meme, and they were saying that you can't drink, smoke, or fuck away pain. And a lot of people in society think that that's how they deal or cope with trauma, over drinking, addictive, and that's how you become addicted to certain things, pain pills, drugs, smoking, which those substances, especially if you just listen to me for a minute, we have people who snap in society. They do some crazy, sick, sadistic shit. You have a lot of people with unresolved issues, unhealed traumas. These people, like just yesterday, there was a man who killed his neighbor. He killed his neighbor, and he did something, like he cut her heart out or something. This is in the news, right? You have people who have mental illnesses. Now, add on top of that, they go and they take substances because drugs can alter, it can cause chemical imbalances in the brain. So then we wonder why people jump off the deep end. Jump off the deep end. This person either stopped taking their medication or they weren't taking enough of it. So you have to be very careful, right, with self. Because if you're prescribed to take something, take it, so you're not affecting someone else. Because, well, you just decided that you're not going to take your antidepressants today. No. Or you're drinking and you're taking those two. Alcohol and medication do not go together, right? Doing things that you should not be doing. That's why it's important to be able to manage self, because your actions don't just affect you, right? If I get behind the wheel of my car and I've been drinking, excessively drinking, right? I could kill myself, but I could also kill someone else's son. He could be on his way home from work. Somebody else's husband could be on their way home, long hour shift, but because I was irresponsible and I didn't manage self, you see how my actions affected somebody else, right? Or I go into work with a horrible attitude, right? Because I don't have my emotions together. I don't have my emotions in check. And someone says something to me that triggers or offends me, and I snap back to this person, they could come in and do a lot of harm to everybody in that facility, all because I couldn't control my emotions. This person was already on the edge. Do y'all see where I'm coming from here? The importance of managing your emotions, because you don't know what somebody else is going through. Just when we think that we have it difficult, somebody else can be going through something 100 times more tragic and traumatic than what I'm going through. So I'm thinking, I'm at work. Man, I hate Mondays. It's I dread it, this type thing. But I'm not going to tell myself that. Monday, I'm like, okay, yes, Monday you're here. We got to get this done. We're going to do this. We're going to get through it. Because I know that if I tell myself I can get through it, I can get through it. I know that if I can at least make somebody else's day, then, you know what I mean? Then we can get through the day. Exactly, Jalissa. because there's no self-control. They're not taught self-control. And then it's culturally acceptable. We enable toxic behaviors, and especially in American culture. We enable a lot of toxic behavior through media, through music, through all kinds of things. We constantly glamorize murder, shooting, gang violence, drugs, sex, promiscuity, all kinds of stuff. Hey, happily. Yeah, so I mean, then you wonder why we have teenagers who are doing things that are harmful. There's no self control. When all you constantly see all the time is shows like 16 and Pregnant, they're glamorizing this little girl because she's really still a little girl mentally, okay? She's not mature enough to be having a child. But when you see shows like this that's glamorizing, oh, well, I'm 15, I can have me a little boyfriend, and if I get pregnant, the government's going to take care of me. I can still be at home. I can get assistance. It's okay. I can finish school later. Then you have the music on top of it. You have all the damn Instagram models on top of it. What do you think it's saying? Okay, it sends a message like, okay, this is acceptable. This is acceptable behavior. And a lot of these girls on Instagram, a lot of these models, a lot of these women have daddy issues. They didn't have anyone there to teach them the value of their body, the sanctity of marriage or a holy union. They don't have a proper example there to have them, just to even behave like a lady, to be classy. It's trashy. Like, it's okay to be trashy because that's what society accepts. We like trashy. Let's be trashy. So then you have young women acting out like this, and they think it's okay. They think it's okay. So there's no self-control. Anything goes. It is too much. It's way too much, Kelly. So then you wonder why we have the problems that we have, right? Like, constantly, like, there's so many thousands of teenage pregnancies every year, right? But you have them twerking on Instagram, twerking on TikTok, listening to these provocative type music. They think this stuff is cute. Exactly, Melanie. Exactly. It's the same thing. Popping bottles, drinking, Hennessy, this, that. The culture, American culture, promotes and enables no self-control. You are out of control. If somebody pisses you off, you get up in their face. You start screaming and hollering. You cuss this person out and you call them this, that, and the other. Because that's what our culture, enables. Like, it's okay for you to act like a badass. It's okay for you to do this. No, it's not okay. It shows your lack of control. It shows that you don't have your emotions intact. You do not know how to be composed. It's the difference between somebody acting ratchet and somebody acting civil. I had to use that word because a lot of people are familiar with that term, ratchet. Okay? But the person is all in your face. They're loud. They're obnoxious. They're belligerent. Do you see what I'm saying? A lack of control of self. Because they felt some type of way, or because they were offended by something that you said, or they wanted something to go their way and it didn't go their way, right? Instead of saying, you know what? Thank you anyway. I'm just going to go ahead and go down the street to this store over here and see if maybe I can set up an account here. Okay, that's like going into, I don't know, you go into T-Mobile and T-Mobile's like, well, you know what, I'm sorry, Miss Jones, you're not approved to have an account here. Then, and instead of saying, well, you know what, I'm angry, I'm getting in the T-Mobile customer rep's face, cussing him out, calling him every name under the sun because I didn't get approved for an account. Maybe I should take some personal accountability and say, you know what, he said my credit score was a little bit low and that I wasn't approved. So that, guess what that tells me? A person who has a concept of self. Okay, well, maybe I need to work on getting my credit to where it needs to be. But when you have no self-control, it's everybody else's fault. Do you see what I'm saying here? Well, ma'am, we couldn't approve you for the home loan because your credit score, it doesn't match. Your payment history, these things here. But it's so easy to point the finger when you have no control. It's always someone else's fault instead of taking personal accountability. So that's why it's important to manage self, manage your emotions. Because when you actually, because I'm sure y'all have been through these situations where you overreacted. If you've ever overreacted, say yes. Type yes in this live stream. You've overreacted. So when you calm down long enough to think about what happened, you're like, what was I really that upset and worked up for? And then sometimes you say things or you do things that you regret. Exactly, Melanie. You're exactly right. Right. You overreacted. You've overreacted. Just doing too much. You overthought a situation. You dramatized something. You fantasized something. You thought something was this. Well, I thought, this is a common phrase. I thought, and what is are two different things. Reality and fantasy. That's why managing self, managing your emotions is so critical. Because when you manage yourself, then you have an impact on the world around you, the environment around you. If you have children, if you are a parent, your children watch you. They look to you as a role model. Even if you don't have children, if I have nieces and nephews and they're in my home, then whatever it is that I have going on, my nieces and nephews are going to pick that up. They're going to see that. They're going to see how I interact with other adults. They're going to see how I interact with them, and they're going to pick that up. But if I'm wild, if I'm just wild and out of control, then they're going to think, oh, well, TT's wild and out of control. That's how I should be. I should be wild and out of control. Let's all just be wild and out of control. You see what I'm saying? So that's why it's important to keep it together. Keep it together. Pull it together as a collective. Right? So, this is why we have so much division. I mean, I know I don't particularly go into politics often, but when you look at the country and how divided it is, people are wild and out of control. Like, because people don't know how to, a lot of people, not all people, but, a lot of people don't have a concept of, okay, this is a peaceful protest. This is not, right? We're looting and stealing and shooting and killing and setting things on fire is not peaceful at all, right? Because some people's emotions got the best of them, it turned ugly. What could have been a very peaceful protest in a lot of places turned ugly because people couldn't manage their emotions. So people got hurt. Apple got stolen from. Stores were burned down. All these things happened because people could not manage their emotions. Emotions are powerful. They're powerful. The thing is, we have control over our emotions. But when you let the emotions control you, that's when there's a problem. That's when there's a problem. Right. Yep, you're right, Kelly. So you have some people out here saying, you know what, I'm fighting for a civil cause. I'm standing outside of the White House or Capitol Hill. I'm boycotting against this particular thing because I have that right. I have the freedom of speech, and that's perfectly fine because that is a peaceful protest. You're protesting whatever this is. But then on the other end of the spectrum, you have people who are angry. You have this angry mob of people. They're violent. They come there with weapons. They come to the Capitol with weapons. And so then you have what happened right after President Joe Biden was elected into office. Then you have this problem on Capitol Hill, right? Because people don't know how to control their emotions. They were so angry. Trump supporters were so angry. They go in and they run amok. They cause a scene. They cause chaos. because they're emotions. You guys see what I'm saying? It's because of people's emotions. People are so passionate. When there's something that you really truly believe in, right? There's something that you really, really want. You are passionate about it. It's something from your soul. You can feel it from the depths of your soul because it moves you. It motivates you, right? But even passion has to be contained. It has to be contained. Anger has to be contained. Love has to be contained. Exactly, Jalissa. You can here. Let me. Speaking of this, managing self, right? We're talking about emotions. Y'all tell me exactly, how can love, such a beautiful emotion as love, how can love turn toxic? How can love turn toxic? The emotion of love. How can that emotion turn toxic? Y'all tell me. Hey, Bernard in the city. Welcome back. Good to see you here. Right. But that's exactly my point, Melanie. Emotion should not control you. You're the person that's running that body. I'm the person that runs this body. So if I allow my anger, my jealousy, my frustration to control me, then I'm weak-minded. Don't have a strong mind. Because I'm allowing my emotions I'm allowing myself to react and respond based on my emotions. You know, some stuff, I just seen this today. I just seen this stuff. Somebody posted, and it was such a wonderful post. I wish I could repost it. I wish I could like it 100,000 times. Some things don't require a response. How many of you ever had that? Where somebody says something to you, they talk to you crazy, right? They said something stupid, just totally irrelevant to you. And you're just like, you know what? I'm not even responding to this. Like, it's not even worth me getting myself worked up over it. And it could have been offensive. Whatever the person said, it could have been very offensive. But you just say, you know what? Good luck. Goodbye. I'm going to go ahead and block this person. I'm just going to go ahead and delete this message. I don't see it. It's irrelevant. I'm not even going to react to this. Because some people are looking for a reaction. Some people are looking for a reaction. That some people, this is very sick and sadistic, by the way, so make sure you steer clear of individuals like this, because I've run across individuals who are sheerly evil. There are some people who thrive off of somebody else's demise, or they thrive off of seeing somebody else struggle. They thrive off of seeing someone else hurt. They thrive off of drama. Steer clear of those individuals because they lack sympathy and they lack empathy. Okay? That's why it's important to maintain. And you know what really gets them? You know what really gets, because usually people who are like that evil are usually narcissists, right? What gets them is when you don't even entertain. That's how powerful you are. They can say something very demeaning to you, very, very hateful, very malicious, and you just don't even respond. And then they text back, did you see what I said? Did you read my message? You see who's got the power here? Did you read my message? You have the power here. Sometimes like if you're arguing if you're arguing back and forth with somebody via text or via an email and you just don't reply, you know how powerful you are? You just took control of that situation. Exactly, Melanie. Love is a verb. It's an action, or it should be. But yeah. Exactly, Kelly. That's a perfect analogy. It's like flowers. Sometimes you got to pull the weeds out. Sometimes you got to cut thorns off. Sometimes you gotta take care of the roses, right? You got to really tend to them, because sometimes roses get diseases. They're beautiful, right? You're beautiful just like a rose, but sometimes roses can get diseases. If roses are not properly cared for, they can get diseases. And the thorns, they can hurt other people because people that pick that rose has thorns on it. It's emotions, right? So you have to be careful. You have to be real careful. That's why, managing self, right, is important. Managing your emotions is important because it doesn't just affect you, it affects everyone around you. That's the thing. It affects everybody around you. And you hear people all the time and they're like, man, I shouldn't have said that. But I can't take it back because you can't unsay what was said, right? You can apologize. And you can move forward from this day forward, but you can't unspeak what's been spoken. That's powerful. You can't unspeak what's been spoken. You can't undo what's already done because it's done. Right? It happened. Past tense. You can't. That's like you're undrinking something that was drank. You drunk it. It's gone. You drank it. Right? You drank it. So you can't undrink it. You can't uneat it. It's eaten. It's digested. Right? All the past tense. So it's like that's the thing. Right? I mean, sometimes the most powerful response is no response. Sometimes the most powerful response is no response. And I hate this because I hate to say this, but it is what it is. A lot of people will come at you with this, oh, ghosting is childish. Ghosting is immature. Is it ghosting or is it no contact? Because to me, there's a difference. There's a difference. Right? I'm going to go no contact with a belligerent, disrespectful, rude ass, grown ass adult. I'm going to go no contact because if this person can't speak to me with some respect, then we're not speaking. Okay? So I'm going to go no contact. Ghosting is you're dealing with someone, you're interacting with someone, and they just disappear. They disappear out of blue. There's no warning. There's no nothing. They just ghost you. That is disrespectful. That is disrespectful. You didn't see it coming. Ghosting is you don't see somebody just disappears. They have no clue. They have no clue. Exactly. They have no clue what's going on. But the difference of no contact and ghosting is no contact means you've done what? You've had contact before. There was previous contact. Ghosting, they were here and they disappeared. There's no warning. There's no I've told you several times. Right, Melanie. I've told you several times. I'm tired of repeating myself. I told you this situation. You know what? That's a great point, Jalissa. Again, this emotion of playing the victim, that's another emotion that has to be in check. Because yes, sometimes we are victims. Sometimes people do hurt us. That is a 100% fact. People can treat you like shit. They can disrespect you. But at the end of the day, it's your choice to remain as a victim, right? Are you a victim or are you a victor? Did you rise above the situation? Did you learn something from the experience? Because that's what it's going to boil down to. Yeah, they ghosted you. I mean, I'm speaking from experience. They ghosted me. They ghosted you. Right. Exactly, no name, because they really didn't win. They really didn't win. What you did was protected your space. You made a safe space for you because interacting, allowing that person into your energy before blocking them was hindering you or blocking you, causing you some type of discomfort or pain. So actually, you win. That's what I'm saying. Like, people say all kinds of weird things. Like, oh, well, ghosting, that's so immature. I've never ghosted anyone, because I seen somebody comment on somebody's post the other day and they were like, I've never ghosted anyone because I'd rather let them see me living my best life than to ghost them. Well, here's the stupid thing, right? If this person, hey Brenda, if this person has caused you so much pain, so much trauma, so much drama, Why would you even allow this person to have access to you? Why would you want them to see your life? It's a privilege to be in your life. Do y'all see what I'm saying here? Why would I allow somebody the privilege to be on my channel, to be a part of to follow me, to, see my content and all of this stuff if they've done nothing but cause problems? Doesn't make sense to me. Because why? I want them to see me happy. I don't care to see them at all. I don't care if they see me at all. Hey, Queen. I don't care if you see me at all. So they get blocked. On my end, they get blocked and deleted. Goodbye. Right? Which, you guys, I actually have made the shirts. Okay? I made the shirts. I'm going to post a link if you don't follow me on Instagram, make sure you do. Because I don't have 10K subscribers, which was a criteria for Teespring in order to set up my account, to link my merch store to my YouTube channel. So I can't link it to my channel, but I still have the merch store. So I have t-shirts made. Spirit said no, goodbye. I have, I think, a coffee mug. Yeah, I just made a few items. But if you're interested, I'm going to have the link in my link tree. But yeah, if somebody's causing that much chaos in your life, I didn't understand that statement. Why would you let them linger around? Oh, well, I want them to see me happy. I want him to see me with someone else. He doesn't care that you're with someone else, and I don't want him to see who my someone else is so he can start shit with them. I don't want them around me. Oh, you're good, M Love. You're good. You see what I'm saying? Why would you leave that door open? It's just like a portal to me. It's like leaving a portal open. It's like not finishing something. You have something on your plate. If you're going to eat it or throw it away, right? Love it or leave it alone. Those are the two options. Love it or leave it alone. So if you can't love me, leave me alone. Right? It's just how I see it. But, to each their own. But managing emotions is definitely something that has to be worked on within self, because y'all, we've talked about this before, but when you have people who don't know how to manage their anxiety, their lust, people are out of control. They're just out of control, right? So you have people thinking, because they're so worried, they're so paranoid, they're so insecure, right? Oh, I think I saw him talking to this girl. It was his boss. It was his boss. He was talking to his boss about some of the things that were not done on his checklist, and talking to her about finishing it up in the morning when he comes in, coming in a little bit earlier. Right, Kelly? He was talking to her about finishing up. But you see how, because if I don't have control over myself, I'm worried. I'm worried about, well, where was he last night? He told me he was going to the mall. Okay, well then let's believe that's where he went. Unless you have reason to question him. What? And why are we questioning a grown-ass man? Why are we concerned about whether or not he went to the mall, as he told you he was? He's a grown-up. What? Do you see what I'm saying here? When you have no control over self, you constantly obsess, and I'm saying the word properly. You obsess over things that are none of your concern. They're none of your concern. I don't care if you're in a relationship with him for 5 days or 5 years. They're none of your concern, whether he went to the store or not. But that's where he said he was going. Okay, so who are you, his mother? Are you his mother, or are you his wife, his girlfriend, or his partner? Who are you? Exactly, Melanie, that's the problem. But again, it's managing self, because if you have your own trust issues, then guess what? Before you start dating, you need to work on who? Who do you need to work on, ladies? If that's a problem for you. You're constantly needing validation. You're constantly needing him to hold you and tell you that you're so beautiful, and tell you that he loves you so much, and he just wants to be with you for the rest of his life, and he wants you to have his babies. And you need him to tell you this constantly, every day, every hour of the day. Do you see? I'm being a little dramatic, okay? I'm being a little dramatic. But this is how people who don't have self-control, who don't manage self, this is how they look to other people. You look ridiculous because you look. How does this person look to y'all? The person I just described. They're always constantly overworked. They're paranoid. They're constantly assuming that their person is with someone else. How does that look to you? How does it look? Y'all tell me, what does she look like? What does she look like? How would you see her if you were a man? What would you think about her? Because she hasn't worked on self. She's so concerned and obsessed with what you're doing. Let's say you're the man, right? She's so obsessed with what you're doing, who you're with, where you're at. She's calling you every 5 minutes. She gets upset when you don't text her back every 20 seconds. How does she look to you? Ding, 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 ding. Insecure. What else? How else does she look? Clingy? Maybe just a little bit clingy. What else? Controlling? You don't text her back in five seconds of her texting you. She's pissed. She's blowing up your phone. She may even show up at your front door and start beating on the door and demanding answers. I texted you 5 minutes ago. You didn't. Do you see what I'm saying? How does she look to you? You tell me, how does she look to you? Is that the type of person that you would want to be in a connection with? Controlling. Yes. Yes. Controlling, insecure, clingy. How else does she look? Right? Constantly needing attention. An attention whore. That's 4. Do you see it? Well, all I said was these people who are overly sensitive. All I said was, I just wanted you to be around me a little bit more. And he's like, honey, I've already explained that I have to work 12-hour shifts this week. I'm not going to be able. Well, I don't know why you have to make everything so ding, 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 ding. Codependent. I don't understand why you can't just understand what I'm saying. But he's telling you because how about selfish? He's telling you that he has to work double time because he has bills and responsibilities to take care of, but you're concerned. You're concerned about self. You're concerned about him holding you 5 days a week. You're concerned about him staying up all night with you over the phone. He has a life. He might have kids. See what I'm saying? The codependent. Yes, Kelly. You guys are understanding what I'm saying. I'm so glad. So glad you guys are understanding what I'm saying. This is why managing self, managing your emotions are critical. They're critical because it makes a mess. It's like, let me use this analogy, right? Let's say I wanted, because y'all know I like sweet tea. So I pour the sweet tea into, I pour it into a glass, right? But I keep pouring. This is emotions unchecked. I keep pouring. And I keep pouring. I keep pouring, right? And I keep pouring, and the glass is filling, and it's filling, and it's filling. I have no control. So what's going to happen? This glass is going to what? It's going to be tea everywhere. And it's going to be sticky. It's going to get dry. It may get something. It may soak up a paper towel. It's a mess. Do you see why managing self, like managing your emotions, is so critical? It's a mess. It's like, don't laugh, okay? Here's a debt. I need clarification. These are all emotions. Jealousy, insecurity, controlling. Hold on, I'm not done. Selfish. Paranoid, thank you. And it just keeps going. How big is the tower gonna go, right? This is like Jenga. Anxious. Inconsiderate. Can y'all see me? Y'all see all these emotions? But see what I brought to the table, and I'm dating someone. Do you see it? That's what we look like when we don't have any self control. Right. When we don't have any self control. Right. It's not even about suppressing them, it's about controlling them. Hey, Maria Boo. It's about controlling them. Saying to yourself, yes. I am so angry right now. I am so angry right now. But how I choose to handle my anger is critical in that moment. It's critical. I could choose to flip out, or I could choose to say, you know what? Let's back it up. Let's back it up. You know what? I'm gonna remove myself before I say something I regret, before I do something I regret, before I hurt someone that I really love the most, right? In that moment. Because what I don't want to do is hurt someone else. Oh, I could have kept piling up. I could have kept piling up, but y'all wouldn't be able to see my face, Melanie. But that's what, that's what unmanaged emotions look like. A hot mess. So now you have, when I was giving you guys the analogy of the sweet tea in the glass overfilling. Yep, like a 2-year-old, time out. You need a time out. You need to go sit in the corner because you don't know how to act right. You don't know how to speak to people. Till you figure out how you want to speak to someone, go take a time out, go sit in the red chair. When you come back from the red chair, be ready to approach the situation and look at it from a different angle. See it from the other person's perspective, but you empathize and put yourself in the other person's shoes. Now, here's the thing. The other person, I'm going to state facts because that's what we do on Aquarian Empress Tarot. The other person could be absolutely wrong in whatever he or she is doing or saying to you. But it's the way that you respond. It's the way that I respond to the situation is what determines the outcome. It can blow up or it can be a smooth transition. See what I'm saying? It's, well, that pissed me off. I can come across like that, or I can say, you know what? It really bothered me today. Earlier when we were talking about, what we were going to have for dinner, and you were like, I don't care. When I asked you what you wanted, you were just like, I don't care. You shrugged me off like you really didn't care what I had to say, and that kind of bothered me a little bit. You see it? Exactly, Melanie. Exactly. That's my point. That's like me as an employment specialist. I have to be very careful with how I interact with people because, I have I work with the public, the community. So, I can't tell someone, sometimes just like I hire, sometimes I have to fire. I have to terminate assignments. I have to end assignments for people. I can't just be like, well, you are a bad worker. My client complained, even though it could be true. You are always late. You stink. No one wants to be around you. Like, you're unreliable. You're irresponsible. You always got drama going on. Your car is always breaking down. You can never have a babysitter. Do you see what I'm saying? So I can't approach someone like that. Do you see how highly unprofessional that would be? How highly unprofessional that would be if I were to address someone who I had working at a company of one of my clients, and I said, listen, your assignment's ended. Thank you for your service. We appreciate it. Thank you for working here. This is going to be your last week. Make sure you call the office Monday, okay, so that we can work to place you on another job assignment. Versus, they don't want you back. This assignment is over. Make sure you go get your stuff when you leave. Take your stuff and leave. You see the difference? You're absolutely right. Words have power. Words absolutely have power. It's just like the negativity. The negativity people speak, which is why another reason why people should keep a lot of things private. You don't want to go around posting pictures of you. I mean, if you feel comfortable, I'm not telling people what to do. I personally don't want to go around posting pictures of me and my person, where we're at and what we're doing, right? Because words have power. As soon as I post a picture like that, people are going to form an opinion. They're going to form an opinion about my judgment. They're going to form an opinion about my person, what he looks like, what kind of person he is. They're automatically going to make an assumption, right? And those words have power. They can say something negative, and so then it makes me feel some type of way about my person, because it's like, because words have an effect on the mind. So it's like, wow, exactly, Melanie, right? No name, exactly. Some things are just meant to be cherished within your immediate family. You don't have to go around posting pictures if you're expecting. You don't have to do that. You don't have to send everybody a picture of your sonogram. You don't have to send everybody a picture on Instagram of your engagement ring. You don't have to do that. You don't have to do that. It's your choice, and I'm not knocking people who do. But me personally, I don't need the negative energy from other people, their influences. Because you may be proud of your little engagement ring, like, oh, look, I'm just so happy, I'm so excited. And then you have people commenting on your post. That little ass ring, where did he get that from? A bubblegum machine? Did he get it from Walmart? Like, he couldn't do better. Do you see what I'm saying? The comments that can come through. I wonder how long it took him to save up for that. Like, people can be really nasty and hateful, but you're trying to share an experience of your life that was a beautiful moment in your life for you. But other people may have something to say. Oh, well, she's finally engaged after. Exactly. She's finally engaged after she's been hoeing around for so long. She's finally engaged. Like, people can say some really crappy things. All because you posted a picture. You put it out there. So now they're speculating. Right? Or you just simply post a picture. You may not even be in a relationship with the person, but they see you out and you post a picture. Oh, who is that? Who is he? Exactly, Jalissa. Most people don't care. Who is he? When did she start seeing him? Do you see the gossip that starts formulating? Right. The gossip that starts formulating. Well, when did she get with him? Oh, they're expecting now. I can't believe. So then it's people having their opinions on your personal life. It's too much. It's too much. And social media has made people feel obligated to post every great moment of their life. Don't get me wrong. I mean, don't get me wrong, because there are beautiful moments. Right, and people are like, oh, it's official. I totally agree, Jamila. Sometimes you just have to take a break from social media because it's too much. Oh, it's official. Like, why do you feel the need to announce that? What does that say? Like, do you need validation from your followers on Instagram? Right? Exactly, Jamila. Do you need people, saying things about your person? Oh, he's handsome. They might want him. They might want to come snatch him. You done posted pictures of him in his boxers on Instagram. They might be thinking he's a snack. While you're like, oh, my man, look at his body. Look how sexy he is. Look how handsome he is. You got all these pictures of your man all over social media. You think women aren't looking? Oh. Oh. I'm sorry, Casey. Oh my goodness. I totally understand how you feel, love. I'm happy to see you here. Right. Exactly, Kelly. Exactly, Melody. Like some things are just for you. It's just for you. Right. Oh, it's official. It's official. Why do you need to come to social media to make your relationship official? You could make it official in privacy. Right, Casey? Where? I'm concerned. You let me know if there's anything I can do to help. But it's just, like some things are special. Right. Well, that's why I said no name. I don't knock people. Um Right, we all are. We love you, Casey. We do. It'll get better. Which is why I said I'm not knocking people that do, but I feel like some things, if you want to make it official, do you. But just know that if you do that, be ready for whatever comments flood your comment section. Be ready for however many thumbs down you get on your video. Be ready for whatever type of feedback you're going to receive simply because you made it public. Does that make sense? Because you made it public, so now you put it out there, so people are they're gonna give their thoughts, they're gonna give their feedback, they're gonna give their ideas. So it can either be positive or negative. That's the risk you take by opening people up to your personal life. Yep. Casey, I literally told a client that today. I said, I'm just done with people. I'm done with people because we're talking about managing emotions, and today my emotions, I just felt like, That's how I felt today. So I totally understand, love. I do. You're totally in my prayers. Right. Right, Jalissa. Right, exactly. Whatever you're showing, those pictures go somewhere. I don't know where they go, but they're out there on the internet. Once you post them, they're there. So at any given time, years from now, people can go back and be like, oh, remember back in 2021 when she posted that picture? That one picture? Yeah. Remember that one picture? Yeah. Yeah. It's been a rough week, y'all. I think we are in the transit is in Virgo. Are we? I think that y'all let me know because y'all know sometimes I mess up. But I think that's the pressure. I've been feeling pressure too, Casey. So I totally understand it. I feel it. It's been a busy week. It's been a very busy week. I didn't even post Monday. I didn't post at all. And today it was like very little. So I totally, I feel it. And a lot of people who do customer service and stuff like that, that is one of the main things. They have to learn. You have to learn, anytime you have a job that deals with the public, you have to be able to manage your emotions, because you never know who's going to come towards you, what they're going to say, what they're going to complain about, what their concern is. So you have to be, it's almost like you have to be neutral. Like, yes, people are draining in people. You know why? Because of all of the emotions that people come with. I can get a phone call this morning. Hey, Jackie, this is Emily. I was just calling to let you know I'm not going to make it to my shift today. Y'all see my face? Okay, Emily, is there a reason? Well, I can't find a babysitter. Now, mind you, this is 5 minutes before her shift. I can't find a babysitter, so I just won't be there. So is that like, are you telling me that you're just not going to be there because you can't? So you had all day, right? Because our office is open from 8 to 5. You called me at 5 minutes prior to your shift, 2:55, the shift starts at 3, to tell me you didn't have a babysitter. What happened yesterday? So at this point, I can choose to I'm going to choose to go ahead and take my emotions out of the situation, okay? So now I'm dealing with facts, okay? She just told me she doesn't have a babysitter. Just one, she told me she's not going to make it to her shift. So now my brain is thinking, okay, now I need to work on a replacement for her because she's not going to be there. 2, she doesn't have a babysitter, so I can't work on placing her on another job anytime soon until she gets that worked out. 3, it's not my problem. It is, but it isn't. It's not personal. You know what I mean? It's not personal. So I'm not going to take it personal. She can't find a babysitter. She can't be at the shift tonight. Go ahead and work on a replacement. I've had other coworkers who were employment specialists who would be like, well, why didn't you tell us yesterday when you got off work that you weren't going to have a babysitter? Or why didn't you call us this morning? I don't care. Okay? See, here we go, y'all. We're talking about emotions. This is going to sound bad, but this is why I tell y'all, stop caring. Stop caring. Because when you care too much, you put too many emotions into what you're doing. Sometimes you have to do things in a very neutral, matter of fact. Oh, okay, Emily. So you're not going to be, I'm documenting this situation in my system. You're not going to be on second shift tonight. Okay, so I need to get a replacement, right? Okay, great. You don't have a babysitter. Okay, take note of that. What shifts are you available to work, Emily, for the future, right? If I'm working to place you on another job assignment, then I need to know what other shifts you're able to work. See it? Do you see what I just did? There's no emotion here. It's just, I understand. There's a little bit of emotion because I'm understanding where she's coming from. She doesn't have a babysitter. So I want to help Emily because that's my job as an employment specialist, to assist with employment. But I can't help Emily until she helps herself and finds a babysitter. Okay, Emily, so go ahead and work that out. And once you find a babysitter, a stable babysitter, give us a call back and we'll see what we can do to assist you in finding another job, okay? Do you see it? Done. I'm not going to sit here and question her. And well, that puts me, because it does. It puts me in a bad situation now because now I have to find a replacement. You need to start calling me earlier ahead of time, which she should have done. That's her responsibility, right? But I would be putting too much of my emotions into it. Do you see what I'm saying? Should she have called me earlier this morning? Yes. We open at 8. Her shift starts at 3 p.m. Do you see what I'm saying? She should have called me early. Soon as she found out that she didn't have a babysitter, she should have called me. But if I let my emotions take over, then I'm so concerned about why she's just now calling me and the fact that now I have to stay late and it's all about me when it's really not about me. It's about her and it's about my client. Okay, so now I'm going to make sure that my client, I'm working on a replacement. Oh, yes. Emily just called and said she's not going to make it, so I'm working on a replacement right now. I'm going to be sending Jeremy. He's going to come in the next 20 minutes. He's just getting himself together. He should be there. He'll clock in shortly. Do you see how I took care of that? I'm not putting too many emotions into it because I don't want to cause Emily to feel like she can't rely on me to help her. And I don't want my client to feel like, well, she's not going to be able to find somebody else. Got to take my emotions out. Take my emotions out. This is why you have to be able to be neutral, and you have to be able to. I can't access my W-2. Okay, well, you can go onto the website, type in the website, right? Click on the link, put in your email, put in your social, check the year. Okay, it's gonna send it right to your email. See how easy, step-by-step process. I'm not putting my emotion. Well, it's really simple. Right? If I'm just overly, well, I mean, all you have to do is, some people they just do too much. It's unnecessary. I've had people, well, all you have to do is, either you have 2 options. Either you can go onto the website or you can call me back. I can print it off and you can come pick it up from my office. Do you see how easy that is? I'm not stressing myself out. That's the thing. When you don't manage self properly and you have your emotions so overly, involved in something, you end up stressing yourself. We create unnecessary stress when we're overly emotional about things, we're overly sensitive about things, because you're thinking, how many type yes if you've ever had this experience, right? How many of you have ever had someone point something out to you, and all you could focus on was how they said it to you, not the message, but how the message was delivered? Maybe the person was screaming, maybe they were yelling, maybe they were cussing, and you don't like curse words because you're sensitive, right? And that just bothered you. But then when you stopped hours later, days later, minutes later, you actually realized that what the person's message was true, right? It was a true message that you needed to hear, that you needed to apply because it was real. It's happened. It's happened. But when you manage self and you say, you know what is she really saying? What is he really saying under all the cuss words, right? And this bleep, 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 and that bleep, bleep, bleep. Every time I come in here, this bleep. We're going to go ahead and extract all the curse words, right? We're going to extract those. His main point is when he gets home, he doesn't want to have to fight for a parking spot to park in his yard because his son has all of his friends parked in the garage and he can't get in. Now, his son may take offense to him saying, if every time I come to the house, all these damn people are over here and I'm sick of this shit. Do you see what I'm saying? He's going off, but his message is, I live here. I pay for this house. When I get home, I better be able to park here. That's his message. That's his point. Now, his son may be offended by his delivery because, his delivery is oh so savory. But his point to his teenage son, move these cars out of my driveway so I can get in here. That's his message. And his son's like, well, Dad, I don't know why you gotta be so about it. I don't know why you gotta be so, I don't know why you have to say it like that. Everybody's not, what we have to realize is everybody doesn't communicate the way we do. Everybody doesn't think the way we do. Everybody doesn't deliver bad news the way that we do. And I'm not saying, let me just clarify this. I'm not saying that it's okay for someone to disrespect you. That's not what I'm saying. But if you can take a message from what's being said to you, whether it's constructive criticism, whether it's someone telling you about a need or a concern, like that's like you going to your person and saying, I really don't appreciate it whenever we talk about finances, you blow up, you hang up the phone on me, you have an attitude, you don't speak to me for days. You're trying to address the situation so that it can be handled properly, right? Not saying that it's okay for someone to disrespect you, but if you can get a message out of what is being said, then take the message that's being said. Don't focus on the messenger. Focus on the message, right? I mean, I've actually heard people say they've unsubscribed to readers because the reader has said something that offended or triggered them in some type of way because, of their delivery or the message. And it's really the message. Message is the main point, right? It's not really even about the reader. It's about the message that the reader is giving, really. It's like your therapist. You can hate your therapist, but the therapist is there to help you heal. That's the therapist's job. The reader, just like the reader is here to read. I read the message. I gave you the message. Now what you choose to do, right? It's like a secretary. We're like a secretary. How are you going to shoot the messenger, right? Y'all have all heard that saying, don't shoot the messenger. The messenger. So I'm giving you the message. I mean, I'm giving you the message. Spirit said, get your head out of your ass. That may be offensive to some people, but that was the message. So you take what you can from that message, whatever that message means, and go from there. It's not my job to coddle. It's not my job to make sure that you feel, love and light with that message. My job is to give you the message. I would never intentionally disrespect someone. That is not of my character. It is not of my character. I would never intentionally hurt someone. If I do hurt or offend someone, I would appreciate them letting me know, because I will humbly apologize. It's never an intentional thing, right? Because I know, which I've had to work on over years of time, my delivery is very blunt, it's very straightforward. So I've tried to work on being more tactful. That's the word, tactful, in my delivery. But the message is the message. I mean, a monkey swinging from a chandelier could deliver a message, but it's not about the monkey. It's about what he's got in the envelope he's got in his hand. So you take the message and you read, okay, well, who is this from, and what is it saying? What do I need to do here? What are the instructions? Kind of like Jumanji. That's what I feel like. Like life is like Jumanji. Every day is a new round. No, Dave. Right. Today you're getting a divorce. Hope that can resonate. Today, today your boss might come in unexpectedly and start ramshacking your desk. Love and light. Namaste. Right? Today your boyfriend is going to call and be a complete ass. Love and light. Namaste. I mean, the message is the message. Spirit said, get your head out of your ass. Love and light. Namaste. That's the message. I mean, you guys know I'm being a little bit over dramatic, right? But the message is the message. Spirit said he ain't shit, and you need to stop dealing with this guy and quit allowing him in and out of your life. It's harsh. Sometimes the message is harsh. Very harsh. And so we don't like to hear it, and that's when our ego gets bruised and we get offended. Listen, y'all, I am the queen of harsh messages. And when I say that, I mean like I've been on the receiving end. Right? I've been on the receiving end. So I completely understand how people feel. Like, damn, did she have to be so loud? Did she have to be so with it, you know? But it is what it is, right? Well, maybe if you picked better people, you wouldn't have shitty relationships, Spirit said. That's what Spirit said. Maybe if you done your homework and worked on yourself instead of running up somebody else's ass, maybe you could be more productive. Right, Melanie? I mean, I've even heard relationship coaches, because y'all know I watch a few of them, right? And they're like, well, maybe if you closed your legs, maybe you could focus on something other than chasing a man's ass. Maybe you could do something better. But I mean, what needs to be said needs to be said. What needs to be said needs to be said. Here you are. If you start worrying about your money, maybe you can afford better things. Maybe you can afford a vacation, right? It's harsh. People don't like to hear things like that. If you stop spending your money on stupid shit, maybe you would have money to buy the things that you actually need, right? But people get mad. Well, who are you to tell me I don't need my cigarettes? Do you really need the cigarettes? Do you? Do you really need that? Just saying. But that was the message. Stop spending money on stupid shit and you'll have money to save, right? Get up off your ass and go start looking for employment instead of hoping that somebody just calls you back. A call falls out of the sky or an email falls out of the sky. Sometimes the message is just that blunt. You're gonna have to go. If you want it, you're gonna have to go get up and get it. That sometimes the message is just that direct. Then there's the delivery, like M said. So working on the delivery, working on self, trying to give the most tactful delivery. Tactful delivery. You can't lose the weight if you keep eating junk, right? Okay, Spirit, I hear you. working on it. We're working on it, right? Side note, you guys, I don't know if y'all have ever tried rice cakes, but oh my goodness, they are so great. I just had to throw that out there. And the calories are low per rice cake. And I was like, ooh, I can eat these whenever I want a snack because they're low calories. Instead of having my hot fries. So I'm slowly trying to change my bad habits and incorporate healthier things because I can only blame myself if I don't reach my goal. I can only blame myself if I don't lose the weight that I want to lose, right? I can only blame myself. I can only blame myself if I'm not as successful as I want to be, right? Like, I mean, that's just me. Well, they have different flavors, no name. They have chocolate, they have caramel, they have different, you know what I mean? They have different things, right? So, thank you, N. It's been rough, you guys. It's been rough. But I'm sticking to it. And I'm definitely losing the weight.